You want to know what I wish I would have known before I started the blog? That done is better than perfect. Look, I spend so much time trying to look like an established blogger with the fancy fonts and the fancy everything and the super long blog posts that really was doing nothing because I didn't even know SEO was a thing, but we'll get into that later. But I spent so much time trying to be further along than I actually was. I think the biggest downfall that I made, and I see a lot of people making, is comparing your day 1 to someone's day 365. It's just not going to stack up. At the end of the day, I should have embraced my beginning. I should have embraced that I was starting and then I wasn't gonna have everything all together and that it was gonna be crappy in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And look, even after all the time I invested in the beginning, it probably still was crappy. So it was all really just a bunch of wasted time. So the very first thing I really wish I would have known is that done beats perfect any day of the week. Next, I really wish I would have understood that authenticity pays. Not that I had a problem with being real or keeping it real, because I just am naturally. I had a problem with being 100% me on camera on the internet, with the fear of, you know, getting backlash or getting people that disagreed because maybe my opinion was polarizing, or they didn't like it, or they didn't agree, or coming off complaining, or coming off too positive, or coming off like I was better, or, you know, all the things that we think about when we know that other people are watching and other people are judging, basically. Not always judging in a negative way, but just forming their opinion about us. But eventually, I realized that it is my quirks. It is all the things that I say that probably are not correct, and it is my vernacular, and it's all the things that make me imperfect, that make me special online, right? And I oftentimes try to tell my clients and my students, I have a cohort going right now, and I'm telling them to be yourself through and through, 100% authentic, and stand in who you are and in what you believe in. Because this is something I always tell you all, is that standing out online is a lot more about being different than it is about being the same, right? There's so many people trying to do the same thing, say the same thing, wear the same thing, be the same thing. Girl, that is boring. And no one wants that, right? And so I think that when you can lean in to who you really are, really lean into your unique experience and your unique knowledge and unique just journey that you've been on, it comes off so much better. So I wish in the beginning I would have leaned into all the things that are Nakisha, because eventually I realized it was all the things that made me different that got me paid. Okay, so the lesson is that authenticity pays. And then I realized that the power of focus is real. That is actually a book, a really good book that really worked well for me. But I really wish I would have known how powerful focus is, because when I first started, I was just out here, you know, I was just out here sharing and doing all the things, and again, seeing all the day 365ers or year 3, 4, 5ers out here doing all the things, being on all the platforms, showing up, going live, sharing photos, doing the blog, doing all the things on social media. And I was trying to do all those things as well. And I really wish I would have just zoned in and focused on my blog, focused on the writing, focused on creating that content that I didn't create so consistently. Now, what I did worked out for me. It worked out for me because I do have a very big personality and I do have a very unique story, and the influencer route actually is really what kicked off the blog side of things for me. So it all worked out, but I really wish that I had time to focus on the quiet work before I got popular. And so tying in with that, I really wish I would have wrote more. I really wish I would have just buckled down in the beginning and focused in on my writing. I am an English major. I know how to write. I love to write. I wish I would not have gotten caught up in the glitz and glam of the social media part of it when I was less known, right? I wish I would have just tunnel vision in on the writing part of my blog and did that and really went in when there was not as much to do, because the more you grow and the bigger you get, there's so many more things to do and so many different areas pulling at you that it's hard to sit down and do the quiet thing and do the very still thing, you know, especially for somebody like me. I'm used to going and doing social and showing up on video and doing live streams and all that good stuff. I really wish in the beginning that I would have wrote more. And speaking of writing, you know, I tell this story all the time. I wish I would have paid a lot more attention to search engine optimization. I didn't even know it was a thing when I first started my blog. Honestly, I really just kind of used my blog as a journal because I wanted to just get my story out and really just share and really find like-minded moms that was in a situation like me, or, you know, aspired to do the type of things that I wanted to do. And I really kind of used it as a diary of such. I had no idea of the entire business behind blogging until I went to a blogging conference, and then the whole world pretty much opened up to me in this space. So yeah, I should have realized that search engine optimization was a thing more, but it was more of a heart journey for me. It was more of a service journey. Let me find more women. Let me share what I've been through on my journey with them so they can know that, you know, the hard times don't always last and things get better and all this. You know what I'm saying? It was so, you know, purpose driven and so service based that I was not thinking of the business and technical aspects, which takes me into two other parts of it. I wish I would have realized earlier that purpose-driven and heartfelt and actual care for the people does not mean free. Does not mean you have to, you know, do things without getting paid. It does not mean that. It just means that you are heartfelt and you care and you're service-driven and you're purpose-driven, and you need to add a fee to that. You know what I'm saying? But again, I don't regret that because that's just the God in me. You know, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to be going. I just wish I would have had a more business mindset from the beginning. And kind of a spin off of all of that, I wish I would have had a vision from the beginning and understood that vision is necessary. I don't think I necessarily did anything wrong, but I think I would have did things differently had I thought about the end goal from the jump. Had I thought about, okay, how can I strategically show up in a way that's going to get me to where I'm ultimately trying to be, right? I like I said, I jumped out here with pure emotion, pure heartfelt messages, you know, that I really didn't have. You know, I was just out here trying to meet other moms, trying to encourage other moms and motivate other moms, that I was not thinking about all of that. So if I would have known, okay, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and show up in this way, and I'm going to do this, and I didn't do that. So I want you to know and learn from all of these mistakes that I've made, that vision is absolutely necessary. And a part of having that vision, I feel like, is understanding that mentorship is necessary as well. Having a proven system and a plan to follow is necessary as well, especially when you have absolutely no clue what you're doing or where you're trying to go or what the possibilities are. I think having a blueprint to what you should be doing and when you should be doing it is necessary. So I would like to invite you to download my free Blog Boss Blueprint down in the description below, where I take you through the first 12 months of your blogging journey and exactly what you should be doing at each step to get to where you want to be successful with your blog and to get a blog that is profitable from the beginning. Okay, if you're interested in that, click on the link down in my description and go ahead and take a look at that. But with all these lessons lessons though, even though I'm talking about things I wish I would have known or done differently or whatever, I want you to know that there's power in the journey as well. There are things that I didn't necessarily do right, that I'm saying I wish I would have done differently, that actually got me to the place that I am today. It's just that some things that I'm like, maybe this made sense to do sooner, or this made sense to do, it's all relative, because I'm still successful. I'm still out here living the life of my dreams, doing the things that I want to be doing, being present as a mom, being an amazing family member, and all the things because of the steps that I took, even though, even in life, we have those steps that we're like, okay, I could have did that different, but I appreciate the journey. I appreciate you. Okay, I appreciate the mistakes that I made, all of the things that I did right, all of that good stuff. So I just want to encourage you to say that, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and know that the more you continue to go, the more experience you continue to gain, eventually you will show up in the place that you are always hoping to show up in, and it's going to be worth it when you get there.